Coast FM 963, you're on Raw Youth Disability Radio. For tonight's guest, it's pretty much a personal one for me and a special one. This guest, we've met a couple years back, and as a role as a job coach back then, she helped encourage me and helped me to get to where I am, and she would have helped others to get where they want to be. I'm with Sam Murray. Sam, how are you going today?
I'm well. Thank you for inviting me, James.
No worries. Thanks for coming in. Just to start things off, what got you interested in becoming a job coach?
Well, ultimately, I'm a trained nurse.
Yeah.
And I was working with a family who I got relatively close with, and the daughter asked me to come and work for her for an organisation dealing with disability employment.
Okay.
I had no experience in the field at all, and I am absolutely not an office sitter.
Yeah, okay.
So that was quite concerning, but I went along and found out what it was all about, and it was similar to what I was doing community nursing, but just with a younger cohort and a different focus. So rather than a health focus, it was an employment focus. So I kind of fell into it.
Okay, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes the best way is to fall into like areas that you've never experienced before.
Exactly. And I've not looked back. I mean, I miss nursing, but I've been in the disability sector ever since.
Okay, wow.
And that was back in 2013.
Well, both sectors is like a sector that is really needed and
Absolutely.
and people really appreciate having.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so what were some of the cool skills that you learned while exploring into a certain field with one of your clients?
Look, it was very vast. A lot of participants would come in wanting to be a pilot or an astronaut or a hairdresser.
Yeah.
So it was looking at the big picture and working out where the starting point was to help them get to that goal.
Yeah.
For example, yourself. You opened up my eyes to an industry that I hadn't been exposed to before, and I knew nothing about entertainment or radio or TV, directing, writing, all of that sort of thing. So you actually taught me a fair few things, and it was just a case of active listening and listening to what people want to be able to do and then tapping into different resources. So connecting with people on LinkedIn, that kind of gave me a bit more direction as to where we needed to head.
Yeah. So in a way, like you're both learning with the client as you go, and you're pretty much sharing like your skills to them so they get comfortable.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, you know, looking at the different industries and different pathways within those industries and how you can connect people to start.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part. Where do you start in that journey?
That was one of the big things that I struggled with too when I was with you.
Yeah, 100%. And it was just, it was literally reaching out on LinkedIn and getting a response from somebody that was prepared to help. He was passionate about disabilities as well. And then how many years later?
Yeah.
You're on a radio station.
Yeah.
Like, it's completely mind-blowing that you've done all the hard work to get to where you are today.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised to myself. And but it's not just me, but like you've done the hard work to get what you are and what all your clients that did.
It's a two-way street.
Yeah.
So the more information that participants can give a job coach, the more we've got to work with. And then we can kind of build on those skills and go, okay, well, communication is obviously going to be a big thing in entertainment. What does that look like? Do we need to increase communication skills or responses, or how do we prep participants for that sort of thing?
Yeah, for sure. What ways do you help encourage your clients who lives with a disability to help get out of their comfort zones in certain areas they may struggle with?
Well, for me, it's about building that relationship. So rather than telling people what they should do, it's all about giving options. You know, you could do A, B or C. That's up to you.
Yeah.
This is what's available to you, and giving people those options to then go, yeah, look, that doesn't really sit well with me, but I could try that. So,
Yeah.
Being able to find different avenues that connect with people, and that's where that active listening comes in. Being open and honest and realistic, I guess, in the fact that what you want to be able to achieve might not be achievable today or tomorrow. You might have to do some extra steps along the way.
Yeah.
But you will eventually get to that goal that you want to be able to achieve.
Yeah, of course. It's not like just everything in one go. It's just one step at a time.
One step at a time. Slow and steady wins the race.
So if you could, is there like any success stories that you'd like to share about like a client?
Well, apart from yourself.
Yeah. Apart from me.
Look, that's what keeps me in the industry is all of the wins, however small or big they are.
Yeah.
I had a participant the other week and she wanted to work with animals and she said, I just don't want to deal with people. So just through conversation, we were talking about dog walking and pet sitting and all of that sort of thing. So she went home and put her profile on a pet sitting website.
Yeah.
And somebody actually reached out to her and she's got 3 pet sitting gigs lined up.
Wow.
For the rest of the year. So she was blown away that there are people out there that would nurture her and her disability in a field that she wants to be part of. So those sorts of things. But then you've also got participants that want to be able to catch a bus.
Yeah.
And the first time that they actually get on a bus, that's a celebrated win because that's a huge deal for them. So there's the big wins and then there's the everyday wins that just keep us coming back for more.
Yeah, of course.
That's ultimately what it's about.
Yeah, 100%. Success stories can also come in big or small goals too. And
That's right.
as soon as you achieve something, like you said, it's always you feel good. And
Yep.
yeah, there are actually people out there that are looking for certain stuff too from the goals that you're thinking of.
Yeah. And employers are open more so now to people with disabilities or living with disabilities or who have been exposed to disabilities. I'm a parent of a neurodivergent child and we were actually having a conversation last night. I was in the middle of getting my nails done and we got onto the topic of what do you want to be when you grow up? He turned 11 today.
Okay.
So he is a young whippersnapper and we went through everything. He is very intelligent. He is across maths and English and reading and academically he's incredible. It's the social areas that he struggles with.
Yeah.
So we went through everything and he wanted to be the Prime Minister.
Yeah.
He wanted to do this and he wanted to do that. But he actually settled on he wants to be a professional hot dog.
Okay, fair enough.
So we looked into that and I said to him, okay, what do we need to make you a professional hot dog? And he said, well, all I need is a sign so that I can stand on the side of the road and just say, I am a hot dog and I am great.
That's good to hear. From a parent's point of view, what is it like raising a child that is currently living with a disability?
To be honest, it's tough.
Yeah.
It is tough to navigate the system. Every day is different.
Mm-hmm.
No 2 strategies work the same. So my son, he's been diagnosed on the autism spectrum.
Yeah, okay.
And he's, funnily enough, a twin. So he
Okay.
has a twin sister and she is not on the spectrum where he is. So they are very much chalk and cheese. She's very social. She's got lots of friends. She gets invited to birthday parties, all of that sort of thing. Whereas my son, he doesn't have a lot of friends. He's been invited to 1 birthday party in 11 years.
Okay.
It's not something that he is confident in. He doesn't like to speak to people, but he's a brilliant kid. He just struggles in certain areas.
Yeah.
So it's giving him the confidence to be able to make connections with others so that he has got a little circle of friends. As he's gotten older, he tends to gravitate towards the older kids. So he's in year 5 at the moment, and a few of his mates are in year 6.
Yeah, okay.
So he gravitates to the older kids, which has given him a little bit more emotional maturity.
So during your journey, how did you help your child to adjust to certain scenarios? Because I imagine even for me with living with autism, I imagine change is probably a big thing, and sometimes I don't like it.
Yep.
In that situation, how did you help your child to adjust to change?
Well, our struggle was transitioning from one activity to another.
Yeah.
So it could be something simple like brushing his teeth or filling up a water bottle, and he would have the biggest, longest, dysregulated meltdowns.
Yeah, okay.
Purely because I'd offered to put toothpaste on his toothbrush. So giving him, he has about, I think, 3 or 4 toothbrushes and 3 or 4 different flavoured toothpastes. So giving him options on what toothbrush he wants to use and what toothpaste he wants to use. So again, giving him those choices that he is then able to be in control, and we've eliminated that. Kind of that meltdown. He has his water bottles filled up, and he has a specific spot in the fridge that he likes that his water bottles are, and nobody's allowed to touch those.
Yeah.
So it's simple things like just changing your strategies and your responses. It seems to help him adjust more rather than create that full overwhelm of it's too much, I can't deal with it.
Yeah.
And that's where I would find that he had those meltdowns. So, yeah, changing, I guess, benchmark of what a typical child would normally do.
Yeah.
And that was just through education of myself.
Yeah.
And that level of understanding and patience and options.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just one more question before we wrap up.
Sure.
If there's anyone who's a parent or guardian to a child who's living with a disability, what type of advice could you give them?
As a parent, I would probably say you know your child best and stand your ground. I had a lot of hurdles as far as getting an official diagnosis, and I knew that something wasn't right, and I didn't know how to help my child. So I stood my ground and didn't back down. So that's what I would say from a personal perspective. Mm-hmm. From a professional perspective is ask questions. Ask all of the questions, because what you don't know, you don't know. And nobody is volunteering information for people to navigate disabilities. So ask the questions, ask everybody questions, and then make your own decisions from there.
Yeah, that's pretty good advice to just keep searching for answers and just reach out.
Yeah, and that's all you can do.
Well, Sam, thank you so much for joining us in today to share your experiences both as a job coach and also as a parent with someone living with autism. It's been really lovely to have you in the studio.
Thank you for having us.
All right.
It's been exciting.
Yeah, indeed. It's been a while since we've seen each other too.
Yes, it has. And I just want to say I am so proud of what you've been able to achieve and how far you've come on your journey. And I still, in my day-to-day life, I still talk about James, my podcast guy, who is now a radio superstar.
I do feel honoured for that. I'm James O'Brien, and you've been on Raw Youth Disability Radio.